Good morning, guys. In this video, I will be explaining about how we will be creating a model development for BA6933 Statistics and Business Decision Making Analysis. So I hope, like in the previous sessions in phase 1 and phase 2, you might have selected one Excel sheet, like one data set you might have selected from kaggle.com, using which we are supposed to perform the three different types of models, and we should assess the accuracy of each model. Okay, so first thing, here we are noticing here, like we are supposed to create a simple, multiple and logistic regression models. So you are supposed to perform a regression model. So when you are performing a regression model, it is very important that whatever the data types that you have taken should be in quantitative form, means they should be in numerical values. The columns that you are selecting should contain a numerical values. Then only you can perform simple multiple regression analysis. For logistic analysis, it is not required that the selected column should be a numerical value. Yes, no type of values can be accepted by the logistic regression. So anyhow, so we make sure that all the variables that all the columns that we are selecting contains a numerical value. Got me? So already you worked on the regular assignment in which you already performed statistical analysis. So same format we will be using in Excel. So here what we do is, like, for performing simple and multiple regression analysis, we will be using Excel, and for logistic regression analysis, we use R language. Okay. So it's a very simple task. Let me show you how to do that. Say for example, this is my data. This data contains, these are numerical values. So this one is a numerical value. This one numerical, like this. Whatever the numerical values are there, just make sure you arrange them in sequence. Okay. So all numerical values should come one side, and all text type of values should come one side. And this, whatever the target is there, target usually will be in yes or no form. So what I want you to do is, like if it is a yes or no kind of thing, just you need to convert it into a numerical value, like churn. Okay, churn numerical. This if this is equal to no, comma, 0, otherwise 1. So this function shows that. So so you should learn all these things. So when the value in these cells are no, what I'm telling, or no, then the value should be 0, otherwise it should be 1. So I created it like this, and I'm running it. So usually this for this kind of data, decision trees are but suitable. But anyhow, here it was asked us to perform what I call perform regression analysis. So I am performing the regression analysis. Churn is a new text type of value, so I'm keeping it here only. Insert cut cells. Okay, so this is the data I am having. So to perform simple regression will be usually done between two different columns. Say for example, there is a x column and there is a y column. If we calculate a regression between these two values, that we call simple. This is simple. Okay, and when we are having multiple columns, like here y is the target one, always y is a target one, so here y is there, and we have three columns we want to check, like A, B, C columns and D columns, and their impact on Y column. We use here regression only, but we call it multiple regression. Okay, so this is what we call multiple regression. So logistic regression is, we will be using logarithmic approach to include other variables also, like not only numerical values, uh, other logistic values also we can use in logistic regression equation. Okay, so this is how we perform. Already yesterday we performed, like maybe the work you completed on statistical regression analysis, in that you might have used like this. So what is the purpose of using simple regression? Say for example, I have a query like minutes. minutes, whether minutes impact churn or not. Okay, so how it will be impacting? So if a regression value is increasing, why actually we are taking multiple regression and regression analysis? Say for example, there is a variable x and there is a variable y. Now we want to see when x is increasing, when, sorry, this should be x, this should be y. This is y and this is x. When x is increasing from 0 to other values, so when this is increasing, how, what is happening with y? Whether y increasing or decreasing, that we should calculate. Okay, so what happens? So when, to understand, like, this is what we call variance. When x is variating, whether it is increasing or decreasing, y increasing or y, either y is changing or not, based on that we will be claiming that x is influencing y and y is dependent on x. When x value changes, when x value changes, it definitely changes y value. So to perform this analysis, we will be creating a regression analysis. From the regression analysis, what we get? We get regression values and ANOVA and coefficients. These three elements we will be getting. Regression values, they speak about standard error and accuracy, R square value accuracy. So when we have a x value, what is the percentage of accuracy that y value is accurately collected, that we can describe using R square values. Then using whenever we can prove whether when y value x value is variating, y value is variating or not, that we can decide. We assure that it is variating only when P is less than or equal to 0.05. This is the basic. And R square value from the regression equation, it speaks about accuracy. Okay, so accuracy value it speaks about, and this, when the value is more than 0.8 or something, we usually call it good value. It means that 80% of the times, whatever the prediction we are doing, that is accurate. So same thing, all the values. Again, there will be one more thing here: standard error. Standard error is it calculates a range. Maybe from if we have calculated y value as 10, but actual value should be maybe 8. So if the standard error is 2, this ensures that 100% accuracy is maintained. So what we say, it will be ranging between 10 to 8 to 12, we say. So this range we can calculate by using standard error. So whatever the prediction value that we got, and plus or minus or plus certain value, that range it speaks. This would be the range of prediction value. Okay, so based on that, the accuracy of the data can be increased. Okay, these three elements we take. Now what we are telling, when we changing x, y is changing. Say for example, there is one more variable that collectively influences. When we take x and y, when we take only single x, this may not variate. When we take only y, it may not variate. When we take x and y collectively, x value and y value collectively, there is a possibility that y will variate. So in this case, we take multiple regression. Okay, this is what we call multiple regression. Again, we can take multiple variables x, y, z, maybe x, g, z, like this. Multiple variables we can take. All these values will be giving lines like this, and we can get a trend line based on which we can correctly explain it. This is how regression we do. So regression speaks about accuracy. Regression gives a regression equation using which we can predict values, and regression also gives information about standard errors using which we can improvise our prediction values. Okay, so that is all about regression equation. So here what we can do, so let us select these two variables. Maybe churn is the target value. Here churn, whenever you take a data set, churn or actual value, like maybe if you are taking a sales value kind of thing, sales value will be the ultimate target value. Okay, remaining all are depending values. Okay, so this is target value. So what we are trying to do, whether day calls influence churn or not. So for that, what we take, so the value is last one is 1095 here. When you press Control Enter, you can see what is the last row in the data. So because we must be specific about uh, values we are using. Okay, so what we do, some for simple regression, just take data analysis, select regression, and select maybe day calls. Sorry, input range should be churn, and in output range y is churn, and input, what is the value we are testing, that is I. This starts from I dollar u dollar one to u dollar 2093. That is the last row number. This should also dollar one to dollar 2093. So now we have two values. First line contains labels. Uh, confidence value is 95%. Just click new worksheet, click on it. It generates regression value. Based on this, what we can understand, as it was told, we will be taking this value 1, and if needed, we take a standard error values, and we take a significance value, and we take these values. So using these values, you can create regression equation. What is the value we calculated? We are calculating it for churn. Churn is equal to intercept. This one, intercept, is equal to intercept again plus day calls into its coefficient. This is the formula. So what I did is I took like values to, we can predict it also. So this is how we take equation. Otherwise, you just take this data and give it to ChatGPT. Maybe here I will take ChatGPT. Create equation. It simply gives equation y is equal to intercept value. So here it is, y is equal to this plus this into day calls. So same value we received, right? So churn is equal to this equation we can create. You should comment on R square and significance value and what values you selected. So from this data, the value is 0.08% accurate. The accurately it can calculate when X value day calls is given 0.08%. It has accuracy of calculating the churn. Okay, so this is having very less accuracy, and significance also say that as the value is greater than 0.05, it says that there is no proper relation, there is no evidence that these two values variate together. So that is how we should explain it. Okay, so anyhow, you will be writing a single page here, single, thus that single page, you in that single page you explain simply. So when we conducted a simple regression between day calls and churn, we observed that the R square is very low and significance is not up to the mark. Significance is greater than, significant value is greater than 0.05. This clearly shows that model cannot fit. Like that, you should write. Okay, so your understanding of working should be written. Similarly, let us take the data, and churn is the target variable, and we take these all values collectively, and we try to explain to what extent these value are impacting churn, whether there is any regression we can create or what. Okay, so what we do, target variable is u1 to u2093, and this is from I to t2093. This data we should collect. Okay, so this is my data I am doing. For your data, you should, your values will be completely different. Click OK. It is generated this value, and significance value is possibly less than 0, I guess. So this value is 0 almost. Okay, so anyhow, So what I do is like I will take this complete data. So this is a simple method. So unnecessarily rather than working on them, we can get some better output using ChatGPT. So here what we see, uh, develop a regression equation and interpret values. So you get some nice explanation related to that. First thing is we can create equation directly without writing all the things. This is your equation. You just copy and paste and include it in your document Word document. Then you have p-value which is less than 0. It says that all the values are together, they are impacting the variable. Okay, so you have multiple and regression says that 11.6% capability of, though it is a weak model, it has 11.6% of accuracy to calculate it. Then you can interpret it like whatever the values you have. Okay, so using these values we can identify the target churn value that we explain using it. So this interpretation we should write in a simple way. Next, the final one is logistic regression. So whatever the data sheet you created, so maybe this is my sheet, right? My data sheet. So this data sheet you maintain it separately. Before you do all the activities, you might be having a this data sheet, right? So what I do, I will copy everything. So like this, and I will save this file as my data sheet. Okay. Anyhow, you will be having a separate copy of that. I don't have it. That's why I'm doing this. So, phone data. Okay, this is my data. And what I do is like I will come to ChatGPT and I will take the data, attach file, and this is the file. So, I want to create regression, logistic regression between. So, just select all the yes and no values, yeah, values also you can select. Okay, so this is target variable, and this column, this column. You take all the columns, press Control, and you start selecting everything. Just select everything here. Ignore churn here. Okay. So we take in the logistic values. Uh, we include churn as target. Okay. Using R program, test whether selected variables impact on churn question mark using logistic regression. So now it provides you the proper data. So this is a simple program using which you can create your analysis. Okay, use this data and generate. It will be sharing all the model completely. So for example, I'm voice.mail.10day.costly. So if it contains spaces, that spaces should be removed actually. So anyhow, just let me take this one. What I do is for the purpose technically work on it, I'm copying it into D drive to make it more simple. Okay, so and I'm opening my R Studio file. Whatever it is. So I created R script, and here this is my data, and copied and pasted here. Just make sure you rewrite comments, and here it is D drive. Okay, whenever we have a file, it is very important that we ensure that there is no spaces in the name, because it reduces lot of errors. Okay, so I'm removed it. I kept it in my D drive, so all the code is ready now. So let me try running it in D drive phone data CSV. Maybe this is CSV file only, right? No, save it as comma delimited CSV comma this one UTF, maybe like this, and I'm running it again. Churn to factor S or now to 120. Ignore that. First, what I want to do is, like, you might have selected key variables in the previous session, right? Just mention all those names. You are supposed to use this prompt in your chat GPT to perform analysis. Okay, so mention all the keyword names with commas and ands, and using then you just write this using our programming test whether selected variables impact on how you mention your target variable. Then mention using logistic regression, perform data cleaning before performing the logistic regression. So here, what it is, these are all my va- variables, and here my target variable is churn num, and I'm using logistic regression, and I'm performing data clean before logistic regression. It gives this sort of code. So here no differences are identified. Just simply copy the code, come to our program, and create a new script. In that, copy paste the data and simply run it. Make sure your data location is properly done. So keep it in C drive or D drive, and there should be no spaces in the name of the data file. Please make sure that, and you properly list it. And for forward bar, you take two, like this. You are supposed to take two times, and just click copy paste everything, and just rename this value, and click run, and it will be generating all the value. Here also you should take R square value, which is accuracy 86.68% that you should take, and this is confusion matrix. You can copy paste this confusion matrix. So by this your activity is then save all your results, and now you will be start writing one page on these elements. So what when we applied these models, what kind of outcomes you got, about that you should discuss. Write one page summary of appropriate regression model to use the development of the analysis. When we take multiple regression, what was the value we got? That is 11.86% is something. And here when we took logistic regression, the value is 86.68% accuracy. This accuracy is high. So whatever the accuracy for which you got higher value, that accuracy you will be selecting. You will be mentioning all the three different models, and how they work, and what kind of values it received, and you will be telling based on the accuracy value which model is the best one. Okay, so first complete activity, save all your results in your project folder, write one page summary of this one. So that's it on this task. All the best, guys. Just finish it as quick as possible. Thank you.